You're not entitled to $5,000, Mr. Pogner. You're not following the math.
But the body itself has not lasted.
Nobody's body lasts. Not yours, certainly not mine.
This is Judge Judy. John Progner is suing mechanic Miguel Ramos for performing shoddy work on his RV and leaving it incomplete.
Judge, this is case number 105 on the calendar in the matter of Progner versus Ramos. Both parties have been sworn in.
Mr. Progner, you are the owner of a 1985 Toyota camper.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you purchase this camper?
The year 2000 in Santa Cruz, California.
You purchased it when it was 5 years old.
No,
And
it's a
how much did you pay
1985.
for it?
I paid $2,500.
You purchased it when it was 15 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
For $2,500. And you used it for 20 years.
Yes.
Sounds like you got your money's worth out of it.
I put a new motor in it when I first drove down here. I bought it from friends, and the new motor was in it, and the motors continued to last. But the body itself has not lasted.
Mr. Progner, nobody's body lasts. Not yours, certainly not mine. So you got a whole bunch of use out of this 1985 camper that you bought 20 years ago for body work on it. In addition to being very old, it's also damaged by something falling on the roof. In any event, you found Mr. Ramos. He said he would fix the whole thing for $5,000. And you said, okay, and according to you, you paid him in July of this year $4,500 towards the $5,000 bill to fix this 35-year-old camper. So I would like to see proof of all of those payments.
Right here. Each one of these is a withdrawal from the Bank of America. I have text comments that are validating these as well that say, like, on the 11th of June, I will call you and I've got money for you. Can I bring it by tomorrow? Miguel responds back in the text on, yes, bring it by, and I've been by on the 12th to pay him. So each one of these is validated. I have met Miguel's neighbors. Miguel has been over to my brother's family's house for Christmas. He has met every member of my immediate family, Judge Judy, and everyone had the understanding Miguel was being paid to repair my camper.
Perform a miracle that you paid for.
Then why did you give me the price, Miguel? You're the one that dubbed the price.
Just a second, don't talk to each other. I'm looking up what a 35-year-old camper is valued at.
Judge Judy, I paid to put a new motor in that in the past as well, so the 35-year-old...
Fine. I'm not buying that thing. That thing doesn't show me checks. That thing shows me where you took money out of.
Okay, I've got a voice recording right here where I've called Miguel and saying, Miguel, I've got $1,000 or $500 for you. Can I come over and give it to you? Can I play that, ma'am?
Oh, sure. I could see that you might want to fix it for $500.
Hey, Miguel,
Absolutely.
how's it going, man? I hope it's okay with you. I want to give you $500 tomorrow. If that works for you, call me back or hit me back or whatever, and I'll meet up with you tomorrow and give you $500.
So I've got several of those, Judge Judy. I've got another one.
Just a second.
Okay.
I'd like to hear the rest of them.
Okay, I've got texts. That's the one voicemail that I've got saying that. But the other texts that I have, I've got them typed out right here, ma'am.
No, I want to see it on your phone.
Okay.
I don't want to see what you typed out.
Okay, let me find out what the date is then, and I'll bring that up for you then.
I've got $500. Maybe you'd want to spend $500 to fix it.
Miguel gave me a rate of $5,000, ma'am. He's the one that chose the price. He gave me the bid.
Mr. Progner, there is no way a normal person spends $5,000 on a camper that they paid $2,500 for 20 years ago that was 15 years old when they bought it. No way.
The camper is now worth, if you look at retail value, ma'am, those campers are selling for anywhere between $15 and...
Okay.
Here's the text here where
Mr.
I have
Progner,
paying Miguel
Mr.
$1,000.
Progner.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Miguel, I have $1,000 for you to be around. Yes, definitely, I'll be here tomorrow. Got your floors done today. Mr. Progner, according to your complaint, he gave you a price of $5,000. Crazy as that may be for somebody to pay $5,000 to fix this relic of a camper that had been damaged. What you say in your complaint was you paid him $4,500 and you had to spend another $1,000 or $1,134. So at most you've spent $6,000, $4,500 to Miguel, and another, at most, $1,500 because you also say you have to rewire some broken lights that Miguel destroyed. Whether that's true or not, I'm speaking. At most, you spent $6,000. Is what you're telling me that the defendant did no work Because you say yourself, when you went to pay him the $500 upon completion, and I'm not so sure I buy a whole story about $5,000 to fix it, I noticed questionable work and voiced my concerns. Miguel just claimed he wasn't finished yet.
Here's questionable work,
So you
Judge
said in
Judy.
August...
I've got one tail light, one brake light, and one turn signal. All that you can see light through.
Taillights.
You're not listening to what I said to you. He did work on your camper. At most, if I believe your complaint, it cost you an extra $1,000. And if you fix the taillight, an extra $440. So in total, you would have spent $6,000 to fix just a piece of that. $1,500
Judge Judy,
is for
I
work
paid Miguel
that he
to fix
didn't
my
do.
brakes.
No, you
my
did
brakes
not.
were the
You
main
did
thing
not.
that I came
You
here
did not
for. I
thank
got
for that.
towed home by my brakes
Nope.
because my brakes froze up in the camping trip.
You're not entitled to $5,000, Mr. Pogner. You're not following the math.
Judge
You
Judy,
paid
I
him
paid Miguel $4,500 to
Did you-
fix my brakes, and I had to pay someone else money that I already paid to Miguel to fix those repairs.
The same you did with
Miguel
me.
has taken advantage of me, Judge Judy, and needs to pay.
You're not taking advantage of me, Mr. Pogner, because you're not paying
Progner
attention.
is my name, ma'am.
You made an agreement with him to fix your camper.
Yes.
As you said earlier, don't speak now. Now put on your listening ears. To fix the camper, both mechanically and cosmetically. And you were going to pay him $5,000, and that included the brakes. You paid him $4,500. He did work on the camper. You say you had to pay someone additionally. Now you've spent, instead of $5,000, you've spent $5,600. Then you say a taillight doesn't work because of something he wired wrong, and you have an estimate for $440. That brings the total to $6,000 to get your camper back the way you want it. That's according to your complaint. You're not entitled to $5,000 back.
My camper is ruined by Miguel, Judge Judy. The roof is ruined. Here's
Okay,
the roof
wait-
right here with big holes in it.
Okay.
Judge Judy was supposed to install an air conditioner for me.
I used
He was supposed
3-year-old
to
air
fix
conditioner.
He was supposed to fix the oil leaks in the motor.
No, I
My
wasn't.
brakes were the main
He
one.
paid $10,000
The oil leaked
for a
off
shop
of there.
twice to
I
get that
paid
motor.
$15
Just a
for
second. Just a
I paid
second. Say
$15 for the oil leak to repair in about 2 hours, Judge Judy. Miguel is a terrible person.
Yeah, I bet.
The way I met him was through Beth, his girlfriend. He had to get rid of Beth because she became too needy on him. He became a very aggressive person. Miguel does not pay his child support, Judge Judy. He's been hounded by Florida.
Yeah,
I've seen demand payments
That's
for
not
between
what we're here
$800
in
and
court for.
$900 of all of this.
We're not
Miguel
in
is
court
not
for
a
that.
nice person
Progress.
and has taken advantage of me, Judge Judy. And here's many
here for
validations
that.
of this.
You want to show me a photograph of the exterior of your 35-year-old camper
Yes,
that you
ma'am.
got back from Miguel?
Yes.
That you
Back of the yard at the break place where I can't drive it
just
still.
don't listen to me, sir.
Yes,
I didn't
ma'am.
ask you to say anything. I said just show it to me. So now I see it. Now I'd like to see the camper when you brought it to Miguel.
I do not have a picture of what it looked like when I brought it to Miguel.
I have those, Your Honor.
May I see it, please?
This picture here shows where he had a store that was full of homeless. They ripped the door out from it. They partied inside. They used the toilet like 40 times. There was all
Just a
kinds
This
of...
is not the truth.
Tonight-
Not the truth at all.
Here's
Not the
the-
truth at all.
If you interrupt one more time, I'm dismissing your case, Mr. Progner. Do you understand
Yes,
that?
ma'am.
Unless I'm asking you a question, if you interrupt again, I'm dismissing your case. We understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Do you have a photograph of the interior after you worked on it?
Yes.
Is that the inside of the camper?
And later today,
And she put my daughter on the couch with the tablet and the TV and went and took a nap.
I would like to know what a tablet is.
An iPad.
An iPad. Oh, I thought you some sort of a drug. Oh.
John Progner claims mechanic Miguel Ramos yet incomplete. He is asking for a refund of the money he paid.
Mr. Ramos, is that a photograph of his camper
Yes, it is, Miss Judy. This is
when
basically...
he brought it into you?
Yes, yes.
No, not basically. Is that a picture of his camper?
Yes.
Do you have any other pictures?
I sure do. I have for more.
Is that the interior?
Yes, that's the interior. Removed completely all the flooring out of it.
Mr. Ramos, do you have a photograph of the interior after you worked on it?
I do, and
Just show me the picture of the interior after you worked on it. Is that the inside of the camper?
yes, that
After
is.
you worked on it.
Yes, it is, Miss Judy.
And now I'd like to see the photograph that the plaintiff just put up of the camper as it exists now after it was fixed by Mr. Ramos.
Beautiful.
Looks great. Your case is dismissed. We're done.
That's it. Thank you, Miss Judy. Thank you so much.
Case is concluded. Parties are excused.
Basically, I did what I was supposed to do.
Makes no sense whatsoever.
You should be happy what he got. He could go to the beach and hang out in it.
And that piece of whatever you want to call him just got walked out of here for free.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Scott versus Hastis. Step forward.
Daycare provider Angela Scott is suing her former client. Stacy claims Angela is a negligent provider, and she's not paying.
Ms. Scott, it is your claim that the defendant owes you 4 days of daycare services for her 2 children.
Yes.
And Ms. Tastas has defense. Her defense is you shouldn't be entitled to any money for taking care of the 2 children because you neglected them. So, Ms. Tastas, on what date did you bring your 2 children to Ms. Scott?
I don't have an exact date.
On what date, Ms. Scott?
May 15th, 16th, and 30th.
You brought them on the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Did you pay for them on the 15th?
No, I did not.
How much was the agreed price for the 15th?
They were there for 6.5 hours at $5.50 an hour for both children, so $35.75.
So you availed yourself of her service.
Yes.
On the 15th. You didn't pay for it.
I was told I could pay all at the end of the week.
But we're in court now. So now not what you were told. Now we're in court and we're going to figure out how much you owe and how much you're going to pay. So on the 15th, you took your children, $35.75, and were satisfied sufficiently to bring them back on the 16th, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you brought them back on the 16th. And how many hours did you work on the 16th?
From 90.
Now, there is a long gap between May 16th and May 30th. What happened, Ms. Tastas?
On the 15th, I brought them back. Everything seemed to be fine.
No, listen to me. I don't want to hear that you were not satisfied, that you had concerns about her care of the children or anything else about the 15th. I'm going to tell you why. Because if you were any sort of a mother, if you had sufficient concerns, you wouldn't have brought them back on the 16th, which you did. So you owe her $35.75 for the 15th. Now, having brought your children back on the 16th, I am asking you what happened between the 16th and the 30th, because you don't deny that you brought the children back on the 30th, which means if you were any sort of a mother, if you had legitimate concerns about the safety of your children on the 16th, you wouldn't have brought them back on the 30th. So clearly, you owe for the 16th, which is $23.50. My question to you is, what happened to her caring for the children between the 16th and the 30th?
The 16th, my mother picked my kids up, and Miss Angela Scott brought my mom the wrong child.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your Honor, she never mentioned she
Can I
had
say something? You take a nap. You don't get to take a nap while you watch kids.
I didn't take a nap while I watched kids.
My 5-year-old's in the back. You can talk to her.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Daycare provider Angela Scott says former client Stacy Hastis owes for an unpaid daycare bill. Stacy claims Angela doesn't deserve to be paid.
Now, what happened between the 16th and the 30th?
The 16th, my mother picked my kids up, and Miss Angela Scott brought my mom the wrong child.
Well, that would have suggested to me, as a normal mother, you, not your mother, you, normal mother, she brought my mother the wrong child. I may not, just a second, I'm not bringing my kids back there again. But you brought them back on the 30th.
Because I gave her the benefit of the doubt.
Just a second, that's fine, just a second. You gave her the benefit of the doubt, so you owe the money for the 16th. Now, you gave her the benefit of the doubt, and despite the fact that your mother said, you know, she gave me the wrong kid, and despite the fact that you had other concerns about her care on the 15th and 16th, you brought your children back on the 30th. And how many hours were your children there on the 30th?
I'm not sure.
How many hours were they there on the 30th?
3 1/4.
How much?
It's right around
30th, Ms. Hastis, because after the 30th, Then you did not bring your children back there anymore.
Correct.
Correct? Okay. And you left your children there for 3 hours. Where did you go during those 3 hours?
I worked.
Okay, so far you owe for the 15th, you owe for the 16th. Now you want to tell me why you don't owe for the 30th.
I don't owe her anything.
Oh, yes, you do. I just explained to you that you ate the steak. You went to the restaurant, you ate the steak. You didn't return the steak and say, I don't like the way this tastes. You ate it, and then you said, you know what? I've had better steak. I'm not paying for it. You ate the steak on the 15th. You ate the steak on the 16th. And you ate the steak enough so that you brought the kids back there on the 30th for another steak. Now, all I'm asking you is you do owe her for the 15th and 16th. So now you're going to explain to me why you think you don't owe her for the 30th. I've already ruled on the 15th and 16th because you ate the steak. Now, if you have some compelling reason, because you didn't bring your children back after the 30th, if you have some compelling reason why you think you should not pay for the 30th, that I'll hear you, but you are going to pay for the 2 days when you ate the steak. The 30th is what we're talking about. 30th.
I picked my daughter up, and as every mother, you ask your kid what they did that day. She told me that Angie put the kids in bed, took a nap.
You're the one
I'm not paying anybody to neglect my children. If you don't watch the kids, you shouldn't get money for saying you watch the kids. And you, as a daycare, you don't go lay down and take a nap.
I would like to know what a tablet is.
An iPad.
An iPad. Oh, I thought you some sort of a drug. Oh.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Who takes care of your children now?
I do. I had to quit my job not being able to find proper care, and I didn't trust to leave them with anybody anymore. So I quit my job to stay home with my kids.
What's wrong with your mother?
My mother works.
I don't understand. She owes you $77.25. Why are you suing her for $787?
In my parent handbook, it's $5 a day late fees. She said she'd be there June 2nd with a check. So late fees started June 3rd when she didn't show up to pay me.
$77.25. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all. Thank you.
Okay.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Your Honor, she never mentioned that I neglected her.
She's paying for the steak she ate.
I shouldn't have to
May I say
that.
something?
You take a nap. You don't get to take a nap while you watch kids.
I didn't take a nap while I watched your kids.
My 5-year-old's in the back. You can talk to her.
Listen to me very carefully. And you too, with you. My mother told me I was given the wrong child at daycare, and therefore, this is not the kind of place that I want for my children to be cared for. I'm speaking. Try putting on your listening ears. Then I would say, fine, I may listen to that. But she ate the steak, and not only did she eat the steak, but she brought the children back on the 30th. And I don't care what the reason was, whether the reason was she had to go to work. What?
She had no choice, Your Honor.
She had no choice. If there's something wrong with you, that's my judgment. Goodbye.
Your Honor.
So excuse, you may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
He forged my son's signature.
I'm waiting for them to finish lying to you.
He never signed an agreement.
He agreed to it.
But you signed it.
Next Judge Judy.
I don't think she deserves a dime. I shouldn't have to pay someone to neglect my children.
We do stuff with the kids every day, and I didn't neglect her kids.
I have a 4-year-old who comes home and tells me she went and took a nap. You don't take a nap when you're watching someone else's kids.
I didn't take a nap while her kid was there.
When I went to pick the children up, the babysitter took a long time to get the door, which concerned me.
She never even voiced a complaint to me about anything.
And I said that one wasn't mine.
I've never given anyone the wrong child. The days that they were there was my kids were the only other ones there, so I have no idea what she's even talking about.
Make sure you check everything out before. Otherwise, you could end up with someone neglecting your kids.
Everyone that meets me always comes, meets my staff, looks around, and everyone's happy with it.
Their so-called friend talked a good game.
She wanted to buy a bar and she wanted to go in business with us.
Then, this scam went into overdrive.
She had stated that she had bought her ex-boyfriend a Tesla. She asked us if we wanted the vehicle for $500.
A new Tesla.
We were fools for believing her.
No, you were more than fools.
This is Judge Judy.
Jasmine and Jose Acosta are suing their former friend, Ramona Segura, for a loan, Disneyland tickets, a garage fee, and fraud.
Order. All rise. It's case number 448 on the calendar in the matter of Costa versus Segura.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Mr. and Mrs. Acosta.
We met her at the bar my husband works at. She's a regular there. We have mutual friends.
And it is your claim that the defendant scammed you 3 times.
Correct.
Tell me when the first time was and how you think that she took your money under false pretenses.
Okay, so it started that she was at the bar. She talked to my husband, asked him if we have any children. She stated that she works at Disneyland, that she could get us discount tickets as well as...
Is that where you work?
Yes, it is.
Okay, go ahead.
So she stated she worked there, that she could also get us tickets at a discounted rate as well as a hotel. We did mention to her that it was my daughter's birthday coming up in January, so we wanted to take her.
Slower.
Sorry. So we wanted to take her, so we thought about it for a little bit.
When was this?
This was in November
of
2019. So we talked about it, we discussed it. She, gained our trust. Again, we have mutual friends. It's not someone we just...
Don't go, just give me the facts, ma'am.
So the facts, she told us it was the $300. Up front, we had to pay her $300 for her to reserve the hotel room. So that's when we went ahead and gave her $300 cash. So following the $300, it was a remaining balance of $200 the day of. And that was in December, the beginning of December. Exact date for you. I'm sorry.
Just a minute. So eventually you gave her, for this, $500.
Yes. No, so it remaining $200, but that never happened. We were never taken to Disneyland. It was canceled. We did not go to Disneyland.
Well, who canceled it?
We did, because initially, the first date that she was giving us to go, she had an excuse where we didn't go. So for the first day she gave us, it was an excuse that the park was busy. She started talking about this coronavirus that's going on. So
you're missing me, and you're talking too fast. So you gave her the $300.
Correct.
And you made a date with her to go.
Correct.
She was going to be there because she works there.
Correct.
She canceled that date, or you canceled that date?
The initial date.
The first date?
Yes.
Who canceled it?
She did.
And what date was that?
So she gave us a reservation for it to be the 8th and the 9th of January for us to go to Disneyland.
All right, so she gave you the dates. These are the dates you can go.
Correct.
And you gave her $300.
We gave her $300, yes.
And you were about to go. On what date did she tell you that it was canceled?
So she took the initiative because my husband...
No, look at me and talk slower.
I'm sorry. So she had took the initiative to cancel it because my husband got sick.
Just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
So you canceled it?
No.
Well, if your husband got sick, then he couldn't go.
Yeah, but she took the initiative to cancel. She said I had already canceled. So she was rescheduling for us to go again.
You may be right.
Yes.
But don't avoid answering. So you stop playing with your paper. He was sick so that you couldn't go on the 8th and 9th of January. Were you sick?
Yeah.
What was wrong with you?
I had the flu. But I want to go because I want to take my kids.
We were
and then she
home.
canceled
Just a second. What? You had the flu and you were going to go?
So it's my daughter's birthday.
Well, that's pretty selfish of you.
No,
and stupid.
It's my daughter's birthday. I want to take my daughter.
That was pretty selfish and stupid. If you have the flu, to go to Disneyland with a whole bunch of other people, to give a whole bunch of other people the flu. You canceled the 8th and 9th. Did you reschedule?
We had rescheduled, but she never gave us a date. She was going to check the availability.
And what happened?
That's when, after Disneyland, she tells us that she was coming into a settlement for 20...
Did you cancel the 8th on the 8th or the 7th?
No, ma'am.
When did you cancel it?
We didn't cancel. She canceled.
No, you canceled it. You may say she canceled. Your husband had the flu. He couldn't go to Disneyland. On what date did you let her know that you had the flu? Sir, on
She
what
came to the house that day when I was sick.
What day?
I don't remember exactly the date, but that was like 2 days before we were supposed to go to Disneyland. And then we were supposed to reschedule the date to go again. And that's when she came with that she got a settlement for $25 million. And that's when she told me I needed to borrow money to pay my rent, if I know anybody.
Now tell me about the...
Knowing that, we became a friendship with her. We've gone out to eat multiple times. She had mentioned that she was going to get kicked out of her apartment, that she did not have funds due to her getting a settlement, that she was wrongfully diagnosed by a doctor, causing her to get multiple treatments, and they were rewarding her with $25 million. She said due to the IRS auditing her, her assets were frozen, so she had no money. Us as parents, we did feel bad for her because we even met her son, and she did not have $1,500 to pay for her rent.
She's working at Disney.
Apparently, she had said that all her assets were frozen, so she wouldn't have access to her money. So since she was getting direct deposit, she did not have access to get any money from the bank. So that's when she inquired that if we know anybody who could lend her $1,500 and she would reimburse them double that, doubling the $1,500. We went to bed. Again, I felt bad. I am a mother of 3. And we spoke and said, let's lend her the money.
On what date did you do that?
We lent her the money in November as well, the end of November. She was paying her rent for December of $1,500.
Let's leave the hotel room aside for the moment.
Okay.
Did the plaintiffs give you $1,500?
They did.
For what?
To help me with my rent. It was never a conversation with Jasmine. It was always conversations with Jose. And he said that he's been in tough situations, that he had spoke to his wife, that he would help me out.
Good. Did you pay him back?
No.
You owe him $1,500 so far. You still work at Disney?
I did. With the Disney, can I say my side of the story? I suggested when he became sick with the flu not to go to Disneyland because he would not enjoy himself, because he would be grouchy. And so I offered him another date to go, which was in a text message, January 29th through the 31st. So I offered them another date to go, and they accepted that date. And then they turned around and canceled thereafter that she wasn't getting her unemployment check, her disability check, and she was not going to be able to go. These were non-refundable tickets.
Can I see that text, please? Notice how I sort of glossed over this $300 for Disney, because if you cancel a day before, usually, if you put down a deposit, they take your full deposit.
Right, but he was sick, and
Would you show this to them? So she offered you an alternative date?
Yes. And due to me not getting my check from EDD, I never agreed. If you see, there's never a text me saying, yes, we'll take that date.
I don't care. You canceled the first time. She managed to get you a second time. Let's go. Let's move on. So far, she owes you $1,500 for her rent. What's next?
After that, when she had said that she came into a settlement, she had mentioned to us that she had an abusive boyfriend that became her ex-boyfriend. She had mentioned that she bought him a Tesla, and she wanted to buy a bar. She wanted to buy a bar, and she wanted to go in business with us. And moving forward, prior to the bar, she had told us that she had came into the $25 million settlement.
You already said that 5 times.
I'm sorry. It's just a whole lot that happened. There's so much in between.
So far, she owes you $1,500.
$1,500, correct. After Disneyland, when she had told us about $25 million, we had asked her my husband had asked her to let us borrow $20,000 for a home. We were in the middle of trying to purchase a home. She said, no, why don't I just buy it for you guys? Buy it, and you guys pay me, since she's getting that settlement.
So now your husband is asking her for $20,000.
Yes, this is when we still thought Disneyland was real. Yeah.
So now your husband is asking her, who he's just lent $1,500 to, for $20,000 from her settlement, because now you see, for a house.
For a home, correct.
And she said?
She said, that's when she had stated, that she'll purchase it and we would pay her back. That she could purchase it cash and we would pay her back. We got in contact with our realtor, and that's when we went house shopping. We went looking at homes for us. We went looking at homes for her. We were everywhere you could think of looking for homes. We actually opened escrow on a home. I have the purchase agreement here as well as a cancellation.
Keep going.
We went into escrow with the home. That's when we started asking her for all her bank statements. You need W-2, all the left and right, that her attorney...
Did you give her any money for this home?
No, ma'am.
So what do I have to know about it for?
Following that, so it's because it's one of the incidents with her, that's where we were back and forth with her with the whole home. I have proof of that as far as...
Just a second. You didn't give her any money?
No, I didn't give her any money for that.
So let's move on.
Okay, so then that's where it comes to the car. Where you see the $500 garage fee, she has stated that she had bought her ex-boyfriend a Tesla. She asked us, since we were going to be business partners, if we wanted the vehicle for $500.
A new Tesla?
A new Tesla, that she had already gave a down payment, and that all we had to pay was a $500 garage fee. Yes. I know. Oh, she sent us photos. She sent us invoices. She sent us everything that made it seem real. We went to the Tesla dealer. We test drive the car. I mean, we went with our whole family. We're a family of 5 with the 3 little ones.
What kind of ridiculousness do you think that you can buy a $100,000 car for $500?
So she sent us an invoice that said the vehicle was going to be $64,000, that she had already gave a down payment, but since her ex-boyfriend was abusive and cheated on her with her cousin.
I don't care.
She didn't want to give it to him, so that's why she wasn't giving it to him. Now she was willing to give it to us for a $500 garage fee since her assets fee.
And who was supposed to pay out the $64,000?
She had already given a down payment on the car.
How much?
She had said she had given $3,500.
Who was supposed to pay the rest?
She was.
So far, she owes you $1,500.
I have.
That's all. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I can't even take you seriously.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
We were fools for believing her.
Well, then, no, you were more than fools.
But
No, you were more than fools.
She came around our kids.
You were more than fools. You thought you were getting something for nothing.
And later today,
If the bills were in storage that you say she took and destroyed or she got rid of, then all you have to do is call up the company and say, I lost all my bills. Can you send me a copy? Where did you think you were coming today? To the beach?
Jasmine and Jose Acosta claim former friend Ramona Segura defrauded them on several accounts.
Now, so far, show me proof that you gave her $1,500.
Here you go.
Okay.
Ma'am, can I show you what I have for the Tesla? She did send us information for it.
No. I'm going to tell you why. Because you have to know that stealing something when you're going to get a $60,000 car for $500. It's like going up to somebody and say, you want to buy my Rolex? I need money right now. I have to go buy a bowl of soup and a bagel. So I'm going to sell you my Rolex, which is a $25,000 watch, for $50. And then you say, oh, yeah. That Rolex, probably stolen. But if I could buy it for $50, why not? You think that the courts are going to help you?
I understand that we were fools for believing her.
Well, then, no, you were more than fools.
But
No, you were more than fools.
She came around our kids.
You were more than fools. You thought you were getting something for nothing. See, the rent is a whole different thing. She said she needed rent. Bank accounts were frozen, whatever it is. She may have felt that she had a couple of suckers. But you knew that you were giving her money, and that money was going... in your head was going to her rent. You said, I'm a mother of 3. I realized that. She has a son. But with regard to the car, you thought you were getting something for nothing because somebody was going to get scammed. You weren't signing your name as owners of the car responsible for the loan.
She said that she was putting it under our name.
Let's say I believe you that she said, I put down $3,500. Well, that's still $61,000. Who was supposed to pay the $61,000? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. We're done. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused and they step out.
The accusations were false against me.
She's a liar. She knows what she's doing. She's a con artist.
I didn't owe him anything.
Now I can't trust people.
Jealous wife. She couldn't handle the fact that her husband and I became really good friends.
We're not friends. Absolutely not friends.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Patterson versus Williams. Step forward.
Donna Patterson is suing her former tenant, Glenda Williams, for rent, a car, the cost of a storage unit, and emotional distress.
All right, so let me understand this, Miss Patterson. You owned a house.
Yes.
Was there one house on the property or two?
There was a mobile home and then a tiny house.
And were you living in the house?
No, I didn't live there.
You didn't live there. You rented to people.
Yes.
At some point, the property went into foreclosure.
Yes.
Had you owned the property for a long time?
A year.
Did you inherit the property or did you buy it?
I acquired it.
From whom?
A former friend and neighbor who no longer had any funds, so she said if I take it over.
How much did you pay for it?
I didn't. She quitclaimed it to me.
Just a second. So you didn't pay for this property that had a house and a trailer on it?
Correct.
However, that property had taxes on it that you didn't pay.
Correct.
Didn't pay the taxes on it, and you rented, let me get this clear, because now it's becoming clear to me, you rented the house and or the trailer, one of them, to the defendant.
She actually rented a room in the house.
How many people did you have renting in the house?
5.
So now let's understand this. So you got this property for nothing, you didn't pay the taxes on it, and you were renting to 5 people who lived in the house. They paid you rent.
Yes.
At some point, all the electricity was cut off in the house and the trailer. So the whole place was being run by generator, but you lived someplace else.
Correct.
Now, where you lived, did you have lights?
Yes.
Air conditioning?
No.
Heat?
No.
Do you live in a cabin?
No.
What kind of place do you live in?
I lived in a home, a regular house, but the air conditioning and heating had broke, so I didn't have it for 3 years.
All sounds like a whole lot of problems to me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You want to come back here when you have all the paperwork? I'll be more than happy to let you go outside. Now you have the name of the company. Call them up. Fax it here. You can come back tomorrow. You want to do that? Yes or no?
No.
Of course not. Okay.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Glenda Williams is a squatter. Glenda's countersuing for the cost of a generator.
Okay. In any event, what you say is that she became a squatter and didn't pay you rent.
Correct.
In a house that had been foreclosed that you weren't paying on.
I didn't know it was foreclosed in the beginning.
Who cares? I don't care. You weren't paying a penny.
I was paying another company to keep it out of foreclosure so their rent could go towards getting it out of foreclosure.
Let me see what you were paying another company to keep it out of foreclosure.
I only have the name of the company.
I don't care.
Because it was in storage that she stole.
Name of the company doesn't help me. So far, we're in a totally unsympathetic position. It's not as if you rented to the defendant in a house that you were maintaining, that you paid for, and that you were paying the taxes on, and she was living there squatting on this property and didn't pay you rent from August until May, even though it was run on a generator.
But that's not correct. I'm sorry. It's not correct.
She
had all the other utilities.
You said to me somebody gave you the house last year. Didn't you tell that to me? Or was it 2 years ago that they gave you the house?
I'm sorry. It was 2 years ago. If I said one, I'm sorry.
Well, you're an adult woman. You live in a house. Then you know on a house, on property, there are taxes that have to be paid. So it's not 1 year you didn't pay the taxes. You didn't pay the taxes. Then you were a squatter on that property, too.
No, Your Honor. I still paid all the other bills. I paid $750 every month to keep it out of foreclosure for 2 years.
Just a second. Show me.
My receipt was in storage, which is another part of the case.
Just a second. It's not another part of the case, madam. Let me tell you this. There is zero sympathy, because if you were paying $750 a month to keep the house out of foreclosure, A, you weren't successful, and B, if the bills were in storage that you say she took and destroyed or she got rid of, then all you have to do is call up the company and say, I lost all my bills. Can you send me a copy? Where did you think you were coming today? To the beach?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by...
Are you in a family dispute? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Okay. If you paid $750 a month to a company and you didn't have the bills, that company will give you the $750 receipts as copies if it's only over 2 years. We're not talking about 10 years ago.
But I just barely found the paperwork that shows the name of the company.
Oh, fine. Then you want to come back here when you have all the paperwork? I'll be more than happy to let you go outside. Now you have the name of the company. Call them up. Fax it here. You can come back tomorrow. You want to do that? Now, you have equally as ridiculous a lawsuit. You know, you say that she used your generator to fire up the house and to keep the basic necessities going, and because it was used so often, your generator, that it blew. That's your counterclaim.
Yes.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
No, it's not.
We're done.
Your Honor, there's a whole lot more to this.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy...
You moved in with your grandfather.
A young woman runs into trouble.
He punched you?
He did, and that's when the chokehold happened. He's on parole for first-degree murder.
Next Judge Judy.
For 2 years, she didn't pay.
I'm glad it is all over with.
I paid for the generator to be fixed.
She illegally hooked up the electricity.
I paid $300 to fix it.
Did a trench underground. I'm just so glad it's over.
Never again.
I am glad this matter is over with, and I'd like to thank Judge Judy for having me on her show.
The problem.
Paint splatter on both of your cars.
When I went to the car wash, it wasn't coming off.
The proof.
He and two other people.
Now is the painter.
You acknowledge that you were spray painting the fence.
Personally, I wasn't.
Part of a cover-up.
What were you doing there? Look at me. I'm not liking the smile.
This is Judge Judy. Brian Fraley and his cousin Rachel Watkins are suing Roberto Munoz for damaging their cars while he was painting a fence.
Judge's case number 149 on the calendar in the matter of Fraley Watkins versus Munoz. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. Sir, have a seat.
Thank you. Mr. Fraley, Yes. This is your cousin. Miss Watkins is your cousin?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you both have cars that were allegedly damaged by the defendant?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of car do you have, Mr. Fraley?
I have a 2018 Hyundai Sonata.
And Miss Watkins, what kind of car did you have?
2017 Honda CRV.
And both of your cars were parked in front of Mr. Fraley's house?
Correct.
Correct.
Do you also live there?
No, I do not.
But your car was there?
Yes, I was visiting.
In July?
Yes.
Okay. It is your allegation that in July of 2020, the defendant, while spray painting a fence, a job that they were contracted to do, across paint splatter on both of your cars.
Correct.
Correct.
That's your case.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's some nonsense about lost wages because you're an Uber driver and you couldn't drive the car because it had paint splashes on it. I'm not interested in that. When did you first notice that there was damage to your car, Mr. Fraley?
I noticed
What
that
month?
it was September.
Okay, so this happened in July. So you're talking about 3 months later.
Actually, August. It was actually August when I first contacted Mr. Munoz.
Okay, so that's within a month
Correct.
of the incident.
Yes.
When did you first notice that there was damage to the car?
In August, it was a couple weeks after they had painted. I went to get my car washed, and we had fires at that time. We had fires all around California, all around us. And so I thought it was ash and soot, so I went to the car wash, and it wasn't coming off. So I asked the detailer what he thought it was, and he said it looks like...
Don't tell you, just up. Don't tell me what the detailer said.
Okay.
That's hearsay.
Got it.
Now, Miss Watkins, when did you first notice there was damage to your car?
It was also in August. Again, I thought it was ash from all the fires. And when I went to the car, remembered that there was the painting of the fence. So
Okay.
I just...
Now I'd like to see the damage that you are alleging caused, because, Mr. Munoz, you acknowledge that you were spray painting the fence across the street in July.
Personally, I wasn't.
Your company was.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. But I actually know the customer actually paid the gentleman herself to redo it. Ryan.
What?
Yeah. I initially...
Well, then what are you doing there?
I have no idea. I guess I'm his only form of contact that he had regarding the paint, and he blamed me for it. I tried explaining that I didn't do it, but he didn't.
Do the painting?
No, there was two times we painted it. The first time I painted it with a roller and brush. The second time was with the sprayer, and that was when he got contracted to do the job.
Just a second. Who paid him to do the job?
The customer, the owner of the house.
Not you.
No. I tried to explain that to him.
We'll get to that in a second. Okay. Mr. Fraley.
Yes.
Mr. Munoz, who you're suing, says that he didn't do the spray painting on the fence. Somebody else did. He has that person here to say that he's the one who spray painted the fence, that he didn't pay him as the general contractor, the owner of the house paid him, and that you're suing the wrong person.
It's nonsense. I can see them out there all out there.
Just a second. Don't speak.
Sorry.
So is what you're saying to me that you saw the defendant spray painting the fence? Is
Correct.
that what you're saying?
Yes, he and two other people.
Okay. Hold on. Mr. Munoz,
Yes, ma'am.
is it your statement that you personally, nor your company, had anything to do with spray painting this fence?
The second time the fence got painted, I assisted with helping him, sand down the previous paint. I did present myself before he started because I wanted to make sure that he went and knocked on every door to let them know that they were going to be painting, which he did. Also, he did.
No. What were you doing there?
Well, being that I built the fence from the ground up, it was still my baby. I wanted to make sure the customer was going to be happy regardless. I don't want nothing foul to go wrong. So I was here make sure to oversee the job being done, even though I wasn't getting paid for it, but still.
So you were not.
Right.
Just a second. Did you receive any compensation for spray painting the fence?
No.
Could you bring up your witness, please? Tell me your name.
Ryan Ramirez.
Mr. Ramirez, how much were you paid for spray painting the fence?
$1,300.
Did you have any assistance in spray painting the fence?
Yes, I did.
Who helped you?
My buddy Chris.
And you have his phone number. The $1,300 by check or cash?
Cash.
From whom?
From Irma, I believe her name is.
Did you ever personally speak to Irma?
Yes.
On what date?
I couldn't recall the actual date.
Did you get the referral for the job from Mr. Munoz?
Yes.
Have you done spray painting before?
Yes.
For other people or for Mr. Munoz?
For other people.
Do you have a company?
No.
So it's word of mouth you get the jobs.
Yeah.
Do you have your own spray painting equipment?
No.
Where do you get the spray painting equipment from?
I got that from...
No. Look at me. I'm not liking the smile. Where did you get the spray painting equipment from?
From Roberto.
From Mr. Munoz?
Yes.
Did you pay him for the spray painting equipment?
No, I did not.
Sit. Now you can sit. Now he's got the right defendant. He's got you. He's got you. Eventually you get it. Now all I have to do is see the pictures of the damage that you allege occurred.
Can I see those pictures also? I have yet to see them myself. He's yet to show me anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay. Where is that a picture of? Is that okay?
And I have more. That's the back
now,
of the car.
Those are two different of the same car?
Of the same car. This is the brake light.
That's the brake light.
This is the pictures of the windows.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's kind of a little hard to see because of the glare, but...
Okay.
There were 6 cars, wasn't there, Your Honor?
Can I see? Don't say anything.
Okay.
Please, don't say anything.
Sorry.
That's of the front window where the windshield wipers are.
Got it. Okay, next.
And this is a picture of the hood.
Okay, now can I see pictures of Miss Watkins' car?
That is my front light.
Got it.
This is my driver's side mirror.
Got it.
And these two are the hood of my car. There's a little glare on it, but those are the hood.
Got it. Now I see. It's clearly paint splatter. Would you take all those pictures and give them to Mr. Munoz, please?
Yes.
Now, do you have estimates for me to have both cars buffed out of that spray paint?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it?
I
want to see them, sir.
It's Photoshop.
Okay. So the total cost for one car is $900?
Correct. And it's the same person who did the same. He's doing another estimate for her. Same price.
Yes. Looks very, very reasonable.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today.
So when the dog walked in, he knocked
into it, and then the pole started teetering over, making a scraping sound as it was going down, and then the ringing when it hit the floor. He ran underneath the jet ski trailer, and when he came out wagging his tail,
there was only a piece of it left.
Closed captioning is provided by Brian Fraley and his cousin Rachel Watkins claim Roberto Munoz damaged their cars with overspray while he was painting a fence.
Do you have estimates?
Yes.
May I see it?
They gave it to us separately, so they're not together.
Yes. I want to see them. Okay. So the total cost for one car is $900?
Correct. And it's the same person doing another estimate for her. Same price.
Yes. Looks very, Mr. Munoz, with the people that you hire and the equipment that you let them use. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,800 that you split between two of you. We're done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
It was the right decision. We actually saw him do it.
I think it wasn't a good decision at all.
My grandfather and I both saw him, all of them do it.
It's just pretty much his word over mine. That paint could have came from anywhere.
That was absolutely false. I have evidence that the people that hired him, he got paint all over their cars as well.
He said it was 3 months ago, then he backtracked and he said it was only a week ago. I mean, come on.
What I saw them doing at first was sanding, and then
right off the bat, she believes it.
A couple hours later, I then saw them spraying. I didn't think anything of it.
We had plastic all over wrapped around everywhere. He got knocked on his door and spoken to let know that they were going to be spraying. So
I'm thankful that my car's going to get fixed.
That was the reason we knocked. I mean,
it was brand new. I had just had it for about a month.
Maybe he's just lazy, didn't want to move it. I don't know.
It was in pristine condition.
People need to get their own jobs, you know what I mean? Instead of suing people.
Not pristine.
for the hard-earned money.
We're just glad it's finally settled.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Grover versus Flink. Step forward.
Victoria and Norman Grover are suing after their Cocker Spaniel was injured on his property.
Mrs. Grover, what is your dog's name?
Rocky.
And how old is Rocky?
6 years old.
You were looking at some property, you and your husband. And the property was owned by Mr. Flink?
Yes, my family.
What kind of property is it, Mr. Flink?
It's an old single-family house with a detached garage.
On how much property?
The lot is 76 by 100.
Where is it located?
It's in Costa Mesa.
On what date did you go and look at the property?
June 24th.
Of this year?
Of this year, 2013, yes.
This is what your case is about. You went to look at the property. When you got to the property, the dog, Rocky?
Yes.
Rocky, who was leashed at the time.
Yes.
Someone took the leash off the dog. Who did that?
Bob Flink.
And you agree that you took the leash off the dog?
Yes.
So the dog could run around?
I had brought my dogs there, too, since she had brought her dog.
What kind of dog did you have?
German Short-Hair Pointer that I got from the rescue about a year ago. And then I had my neighbor's dog, Henry, who was a Heinz 57 variety dog.
Okay. So the three dogs were sort of running around.
Yeah.
And had you looked at the house?
Yes.
Did you like the house?
Yes.
Now, the accident that involved Rocky took place in the garage.
Yes.
Would you like to tell me what happened?
Shall I start from when I just got there or from the incident?
No, start with you looked at the house, you liked the house, and now you're outside. Tell me the story, keep your voice up a little bit because I'm...
Okay. So we were outside looking at the yard, and then Bob had showed us the garage. And there's 2 garage doors. And, Your Honor, I had learned that that garage was not going to be part of the lease, that we were not able to use that. So Mr. Flink opened up the first garage door.
When you open up the garage door, is that an automatic door?
I don't believe so.
How do you open the garage door?
It's a garage door that swings open, so you have to grab a hold of the handle in the middle and swing it out towards you, and then push it up open.
So you bent down, opened up the garage door.
Yes.
And so we saw there was, I believe, recreational vehicles there. It was filled up. So then he went to the other garage door. As he was opening that up, Your Honor, my dog, Rocky, ran in the same time that an iron pole of...
Similar to this.
Similar to this.
Put similar down.
Okay. The iron pole had fell and crushed his tail as he ran in.
Where was the pole from, Mr. Flink?
It was leaning up on the inside of the garage.
So when the dog walked in, he knocked it?
He knocked in. It bounced off the wave runner that was in there and then continued on to the garage floor. I mean, making a scraping sound as it was going down and then the ringing when it hit the floor. And then Rocky was in that area. He ran underneath the jet ski trailer that was in there. And when he came out wagging his tail, it was
There was
bleeding.
only a piece of it left.
No, it was just bleeding.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What didn't you understand that I needed this additional explanation from you?
I just want to clear it up.
There's nothing that was unclear to me.
Okay.
Did I look confused to you?
No, you don't at all.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Victoria and Norman Grover say former friend Robert Flink is responsible for vet bills after their Cocker Spaniel's tail was crushed while the dog was on his property.
So when the dog walked in, he knocked it?
He knocked into it, and then the pole started teetering over. He ran underneath the jet ski trailer, and when he came out wagging his tail,
There was
bleeding.
only a piece of it left.
No, it was just bleeding.
Okay. So what did you do?
Got out 2 first aid kits, and Norm bandaged it up after Vicky had hosed him off. We sprayed it down
Hosed
with...
him off because he was bleeding?
Yes. And it just looked like a little cut in his tail. Couldn't tell what was...
Whatever. So you took him to the bill was $998. $998 that you want Mr. Flink to be responsible for.
Yes.
That's what the case is. Is that simple?
May I...
What did I miss?
Well, Mr. Flink said that he had ran into something to cause it to fall.
I don't care whether he ran into something or not.
Okay.
On the property, he took the leash off the dog.
Yes.
While you didn't protest that, he let the dog gain access to the garage. So, Mr. Flink, why do you not think that you're responsible for this vet bill?
Well, when I started to open up the garage, it was only a third of the way open when Rocky ran in. And then I had to change my hand position to open up the garage door the rest of the way, and the bar wasn't falling until the door was open and I could see what was going on. And it hit the wave runner, which I wouldn't have something propped up in there to hit the jet ski.
Just a second. Let us substitute a 2-year-old toddler for Rocky.
All right.
If a child was injured under the same circumstance on your property because there was a pole or something that was loose in an area, sufficiently loose so that the child was injured, why would you think you were not responsible?
Well, you wouldn't have a child crawl underneath the garage door as I was opening it up.
Right, but you might have a puppy.
Well, the other 2 dogs that were there, they didn't go running.
One of those was yours.
Yes.
Maybe yours is smart and knew about the loose pole.
It wasn't. It was propped up in the garage to where it was going to stay unless something happened to hit it.
It's your responsibility, sir, to see to it that your property is in order so that it's not going to hurt anybody or anything. Why would you open the garage door anyway?
They wanted to see if there was any storage room in the garage.
Well, let me hear. I'm just curious. What's that conversation? The garage was not being rented with the house.
Right.
So tell me about the conversation. Did you say to them, there really is no room for you to store your stuff in here? Let me show you. Is that why you opened the garage?
I opened the garage because they asked to see if there was any room in there for storage for bicycles or whatever.
And what did you say to them?
I said the garage was full.
So why did you open it?
As a courtesy to show them that there wasn't any room in there.
It's your property.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by Real Cases, Real People. Judge Judy. Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
What did you say to them?
I said the garage was full.
So why did you open it?
As a courtesy to show them that there wasn't any room in there.
It's your property.
Your Honor, by the way, that's not how it happened.
Well, I'd like to hear your version of how it happened.
So we saw the inside of the house. Fine. He brought
We're outside the house already. We're
outside
in the
the
garage.
house, yes. And I said the garage is not included, correct? That's all I stated. I just wanted to confirm that. And that's when Bob went into action and he opened the garage door.
Explain that to me. I don't understand what you're saying.
I didn't ask to see the garage at all. We already understood that the garage was not a part of the rental.
Mr. Grover, what part of you won your case 5 minutes ago didn't you understand that I needed this additional explanation from you?
I just want to clear it up, that's all.
There's nothing that was unclear to me.
Okay.
Did I look confused to you?
No, you don't at all.
Judge, for the plaintiff in the amount of $988.11. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Mr. Simeone had your car towed. What you say is you parked legally.
But will a mystery witness put a dent in her story?
This is not going to be without pain.
Next Judge Judy.
I think I was right. It wasn't my fault. And that's what caused the bar to tip over.
He had said, sue me, and he hung up on me.
I got 2 first aid kits out of the garage, and Norm bandaged up the dog's tail after Vicky had hosed it off.
We sent him off with my wife to the vet as soon as possible.
The dog's tail was still bleeding.
They had to do surgery to find out if they could stitch it up or if it would be amputated.
If something hadn't been done, it would have just kept bleeding.
With that type of an injury,